1 out of every 5 Americans has a disability. That equates to 54 million people, and this group makes up our most diverse and inclusive minority. Historically, media-produced heartwarming stories have perpetuated the idea that people with disabilities need to be pitied. While this is beginning to change, some stereotypes are difficult to break. The first way to identify and devalue someone is through language, and once we have done that, it becomes easy to justify prejudices and discrimination. We must be careful not to describe people by their label. We must acknowledge first and foremost that they are people. Therefore, we should use people-first language. People-first language is not political correctness. It is simply good manners and a form of respect. When used correctly, we acknowledge the person's abilities and interests before we acknowledge that they have a disability. Some simple examples of people-first language. Instead of saying disabled person, we would say person with a disability. Instead of saying autistic person, we would say person with autism. In addition to using people-first language, there are also certain ways of speaking that we should avoid. Some people think that using the term special needs generates pity. Insults such as spaz, retard, and schizo can also be offensive. Describing someone as having or being a problem, or the word wrong, as in what is wrong with that kid, should be similarly avoided. There is also a form of disability etiquette that should be followed, revolving around the concept of do not assume. For example, do not assume that a person with a disability wants or requires help. Do not assume that a person with a disability is dissatisfied with their quality of life and is seeking pity. Do not assume you should speak to the companion of the person with a disability. Instead, speak directly to the person. We are all different. People with disabilities are only different because of their disability. The sooner we come to acknowledge people with disabilities as people first, the sooner our world becomes a more welcoming place for people with disabilities.